We are doing inequality notation and interval notation. So we're blending them together now. This right here is our inequality symbol. And when we read an inequality symbol, we read from the variable. So usually we would read things left to right. These would be, if I wanted to rearrange this, so with my point of we read from the variable, this says exactly the same thing. So if I had a problem that said -9, notice it's the point aiming at -9. We have an equal sign down here, and then it's our x. So if I read this one here, this would say x is greater than or equal to -9. It's the big side, so that's the easy way. Big means greater, small means less. So if I read the same one, we start with the letter, the variable, x is greater than or equal to -9. So we always read from the variable, and that includes if we have something that's kind of combined. All right, let's put everything together. Express the inequality using interval notation. Remember, these are our interval notation symbols, and then these right here are inequality symbols. So express the inequality using interval notation. That means we'll be using these right here. All right, so this says x is greater than or equal to -9. So this has that equal sign. Do you remember what kind of inequality notation has the equal sign? And x are all numbers bigger than -9. So that means we would start at -9, and it would be all the numbers bigger than that. X is greater than or equal to -9. All right, so that means, so I'll just write it out here. So -9 is our starting point. We are including it, that means a bracket, and it's all the numbers bigger than -9. So we have to kind of rearrange it when we write it in the inequality notation. So it keeps on going to positive infinity, and it never touches or never stops. All right. So that would be a bracket and a parenthesis. -9 is where we start, and infinity on the positive is where we go to. All right. And then it's giving us a number line also. If you need to help you visualize it, do the number line too. All right, next one. Express the interval using inequality notation. All right, so inequality notation now. Negative infinity to -4, and we're not including -4. So these are all the numbers smaller than -4. X is all the numbers smaller, or x is less than -4. No equal sign down here because we're not including it. All right. And that's all there is to it. So these are just basically, are you able to understand it and then organize it properly? So x is less than -4. All right. There's your inequality notation using the inequality symbol here. Once again, use the number line if you need to, and these are interchangeable, so it's helpful to practice those. And this is a closed circle from -3 to a closed circle to 4. Use inequality notation. So I'll go ahead and just do this last one. All right, so -3 is where we start. 4 is where we end, and x is in between those two. Those are all the values, right? So it always faces to the left in this kind of situation. And remember, we would read it from the variable. X is between -3 and 4, including the endpoints. So this is always how it's written, and that's exactly what this is saying. It's all the values between -3 and 4. Then if we need to, close circle at -3, close circle at 4, and then it's everything in between. All right, for the graph. All right, graph it if you need to, and yeah, so that's that one. Let me go ahead and just write it. We got a -3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. Notice how reading it from left to right doesn't make much sense. -3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 4. Hopefully it makes more sense, like my advice was, read it from the variable. X is between -3 and 4. And the rest of them should be similar.